प्रखर ज्ञान के प्रभा पुंज उस गुरु को मेरा है प्रणाम, जिनके नित निर्देशों ने है हमें बनाया आज महान। सहज सरल व सौम्य निराला आदर्शों के वे प्रतिमान, खुद गम के सागर में रहकर हमें सिखाते जीवन गान। To their sheer passion and dedication towards art and their non-stop quest to spread the learning amongst more passionate hearts, we salute the giving spirits of all the gurus and teachers around. Namaskaram. Today is shining bright and we are indeed living right. Story 10 for Zaikaana is indeed very, very special because we are covering somebody who is supremely dedicated to her art and has been in the profession of teaching for about 15 years now. And what better way than the actual presence of students to be describing what this teacher's presence has meant in their lives and influenced them to go break barriers and continue dreaming some more. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very delighted to present to you the three students, Arushi, Shaurya and Janali, who are going to be talking about their experience for this story seeker of today. Okay, then Arushi, your first thoughts about your guru that we are covering today.
I've been learning from Chandrima Ma'am for 4 years now, and she's extremely dedicated. And not only does she teach you music, she also instills a sense of discipline in you. She tells you about the Indian traditions. For instance, Guru Purnima earlier. However, Chandrima Aunty makes sure that we as her students know about such practices and that we follow them.
How wonderful. We'll pass on the baton to Shaurya. Yes, how has your experience been learning and understanding and getting into this world of music?
So, Ma'am is a guru that I'll never forget. She has not only taught me music, but has taught me the discipline of my style. Her teachings are like lessons of life. Her belief in me makes me give out the best I have inside of me.
Yes. Now we're moving on to the oldest student of the lot here, Janali. Please tell us about your experience and learnings and your equation.
Thank you for this opportunity. So I'm here, to speak about two roles. One is that of a mother of a student of 6 years. My daughter Divyana has been learning since 2013, and I am a student of 3 years now. And so, I've got inspired to learn after seeing my daughter and so many other children that our Guru teaches with utmost perseverance. So, one is that, of course, for me, it is something very important in my life because I'm learning music for the first ever time in my life, from her. So you can imagine how important it is as far as my daughter goes, right? And be lost in them. What our Guru has really taught is to be able to, internalize the spirit of art and of excellence. So I think these are my big, takeaways from learning with her.
What an absolute delight listening to the three of you, and there could not have been a better way to introduce this beacon of hope who is instilling so much warmth, passion and ambitions to go on and pursue music and never give up on life and more dreams. We're talking about the very enigmatic Chandrima Sanyal Dutta, who are going to be meeting in a very short while from now.
ऐसे ना
Come in, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for agreeing to do this for us, and thank you for thinking of Harmony School of Music and putting it together. And please tell us a little bit about the school, which I'm sure is the place where you stay.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having this talk with me. I was a performer first, and I was in Germany for many years, and it's there that my daughter was born. And when we returned to India, and she was small, so I thought of teaching music for a while, so that I could give her some time, and I didn't have to go out to perform on the stage or for tours. So I started teaching with some children, and from there it just went on its own, and I really enjoy my time I spend with my students, which is like 6 hours a day on an average, and I never get tired of teaching music.
Absolutely. You started from, I think, when you had 2 students, and now you have about 90 students, and I also understand that there's a waiting period of 2 to 3 years for the people wanting to take admissions. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So you did tell us earlier that you have tied up with Trinity
College of London. That's for electronic keyboard. I
Right.
teach 2 different subjects.
Absolutely.
I teach Hindustani vocal classical, and I also teach electronic keyboard.
Right.
So for Hindustani vocal classical, my students get certified from either Gandharva Mahavidyalaya or Bangiya Sangeet Parishad. I'm tied up with both. And for electronic keyboard, the certification is from Trinity College London.
Right. Thank you. From the current and from what you are doing, this is a beautiful journey, and every journey begins somewhere. So we're going to be traveling back a little to the time where you told us earlier that your father was a refugee, and
Yes.
he moved to Bengal post-partition.
Around partition.
Around partition.
Around partition. My father originally belonged to the East Bengal part of Old Bengal.
Right.
And they had to leave everything and move to this side, like many others during partition. So somehow he had this, very refined sense of music, very refined sense of the arts. I don't know where he got it from. It wasn't so much in the family, but he was there. So this love for music, and it's mainly come from my father. My father passed away last year on 1st of May 2018. So last year, I have this annual concert of my music school every year at Indiranagar Sangeet Sabha. So it was my husband's idea mainly to call my sisters and my mother from the different cities they are in, and what better way to give a tribute to my father than sing the favorite rag.
Right.
So the 3 sisters, me and my sisters, we got together and we sang Rag Malkaus, which was one of his favorite rags, and that's how we paid tribute to the man we all loved and respected, and he'll always be my first hero.
Yeah, and he's gonna forever stay now through you, your sisters, and all that stays in music. This is a book that we were talking about earlier, and you mentioned that it's going for a few awards too.
Yeah.
And it has a chapter dedicated to your father. Do you want to please talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, so Aanchal, she's a young, vibrant young writer,
Right.
and she lives in Delhi.
Right.
So her aunt is my student, who is also a senior dental consultant at Manipal. She happened to mention that her niece is writing a book, and she would like to cover some of the people who have come from East Bengal during the partition. So Aanchal went and met my father and my mother, and the last chapter of this book is about my father and also about my mother.
Absolutely. There's a passion story, there is a lot of travel story. So in our earlier discussion, when you told us that in the pursuit of music when you moved to Benares. There was this parampara that you mentioned, Nada Ban. Yes, please describe it.
So, Hindustani classical vocal, in the classical arts in our country, we follow the Guru Shishya Parampara. So, when a Guru accepts you, the Guru first decides to accept you or not. And if the Guru accepts you as a student, then there's a small ceremony in which a thread is tied around the wrist, and that is called Nada Bandhana. So that's a bond for life. So it's a small formal ceremony, but then you have to be loyal and obedient to the Guru for the rest of your life. And that's the main bond, just a symbolic gesture of a lifelong bond.
Absolutely. While we were discussing earlier, and a couple of students talked about their association with them, every single one of them had this one factor common, which was instilling a sense of discipline. So you, of course, instilled discipline in them, but what brought it in you? What was the source?
What I have got in me is mainly from my mother. She would get up at 4:45 a.m. every morning, make tea, wake us up. We are three sisters. We had to do our riyaz every morning at 5, and she made sure that we did it in the morning and in the evening. And she was, I call her Hitler. Yeah. When my students come to class, they know that if it's 4:30 and the class starts at 4:30, they have to be here at 4:30, because in the last 15 years, my 4:30 class has never started at 4:35.
We'll move a little forward to the time when you were in college, Lady Shri Ram College in Delhi, and in the final year, about the time when you were preparing for CAT, is when you felt and truly felt that music is your calling.
Yes.
And you decided to move to Bombay to pursue it further. You went on to become a mega finalist for Meri Awaaz Suno, and that was in 1998. Yeah, that it was supported by Yash Raj and their group. You went on to perform.
Yes, you can see it right there.
Absolutely, that's Lataji.
And Pandit Hari Prasad Chaurasiya.
Right.
There's Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma, Begum Parveen Sultana, and Suresh Wadekarji. This show was anchored by Anu Kapoor.
Right. And this wasn't the end. Obviously, this was another new beginning, because then you went on tours with Anup Jalota and a couple of others.
Yes, I did a lot of tours with some big artists.
Yeah.
And then finally I started a small group of my own, and I did performances. I used to perform a lot on stage. My own kind of music.
Right.
Which is mainly semi-classical.
The third essential segment, which composes Zaikaana, is food. Now, you mentioned you would not like to call yourself a big foodie, but you have a huge respect for traditional food.
Yes.
You're
and
all
local cuisines.
Local cuisines, and you're all open to be trying the traditional cuisines that exist. And you cook the traditional items too.
Yes. So if I go to a place,
Right.
I don't hunt for pizza.
Correct.
No, mache jhol.
Yeah.
I don't. If I go to a place, I like to try out the food of that place.
Right.
So I can cook traditional Bengali dishes, and I'm not like really into a lot of baking because I don't have time.
Yeah.
But yes, I cook, and in my free time,
Yeah.
I make traditional Bengali dishes for my family, and certain other things which my daughter likes to eat.
Right. From your wonderful story and the ever so passionate and soulful voice, I think we are ready to move to another segment, to taste the magic of your hands. So, what is the speciality that you're making today for Zaikaana, and is there a story behind it?
It's something that has been traditionally cooked in my house as well as my parents-in-law's house.
Right.
It is called in Bengali Fulgopi Chingri Alur Jhol.
Okay.
So it is cauliflower, potato, and prawns
Right.
cooked in a gravy, and we eat it with rice.
Absolutely.
So that's something I like and my family likes as well. And it's a simple dish, but it's always been a favorite. So and we eat it with rice sometimes for lunch.
Right.
So that's what I'll be cooking for you today.
Let's go to the kitchen.
Okay. Bye-bye. So I'm going to cook aloo gobi chingri jhol for you, which is cauliflower, prawn and potato in gravy. So first, and this is cooked in mustard oil. It's a traditional Bengali dish, so it's cooked in mustard oil. So first we light fry all the ingredients, that's prawns, cauliflower and potato separately, and then we cook the main dish. So now that the potato, the cauliflower and the prawns are fried, so in the same oil, I'll put the whole spices, tezpatta or bay leaf, the big cardamom and the small ones, elaichi, long and large, cinnamon, and one whole red chili. This is just to add some flavor. We Bengalis add a mild touch of sugar to our gravies as well. So just a slight touch, not to make it sweet, but just a hint of sweetness, like our language. And this is a speciality from Bengal. It's called Gondhuraj Lebu. It's a variety of lemon, as you can see. It has a very rich and fragrant smell. So this is just to add a flavor when you're eating the gravy with the rice. Just sprinkle or squeeze a slice of lemon to it, and it gives a very nice flavor to the whole dish. Gondhuraj Lebu.
Well, hello there. All kinds of animals are making a huge running a marathon inside my stomach, and beside the beautiful, soulful lady, we have the amazing man of the hour in the frame now as well, who is famously known as Man's Photo Stand. What's the story behind that?
Well, you see, when you see a photograph or a picture that is framed and kept on a table, what we see from the front is the beautiful picture in the front. But there's always a stand that's behind the frame and supporting the frame, which no one is able to see. But it's there and it's holding up the beautiful picture.
Correct.
So that's my stand from behind.
That is the stand. Kaushik sir, thank you for being a rock solid support and playing a huge role in making of this woman. And you're going to be the taster for today. So please go ahead. Ma'am, would you be serving?
I hope it's turned out the way I wanted it to be.
All yours, all eyes on you. No pressure though.
Okay. As usual, it should be good because my wife is a very good cook. Before she came full time into music, she used to be a cook.
Right.
And I loved her food. As I said, as usual.
As usual. It's remarkable. Thank you so much for tasting, and we are going to be heading to eat more and lots of it. So stay hungry and like, share and subscribe. Goodbye.